try this video again. Tried it earlier and the computer crashed on me. So today you've got this bell ringer to do, and then you've got these notes to take. Okay, the bell ringer is a Google form that you're just going to input your answers from this assignment down here, the rational numbers, ordering numbers, and scientific notation. You're just going to put your answers in, and it's going to grade that instead of me having to go through and grade all 80 of y'all's. You're going to put it into Google Forms, and it's going to grade that for you. You'll know immediately what you make, and then I don't have to spend time grading it. Works good for both of us. The notes today are the MAD notes. When you open it up, you're going to open the notes, and then you'll make a copy. That's not going to open, I guess. Okay, go to File, then make a copy, and you'll be able to fill those notes out. Then we're going to not actually embed, that's the wrong word, but we're going to put it into the unit 2 of our binder. So when you open that up, you'll go to the top, you'll make a copy. Go ahead and get those notes pulled up. I'm going to go through this pretty quickly. If at any point you need to pause it so that you can catch up and get the numbers written down and all that stuff, then please do that. It's the perks of having this on video is you can pause it and rewind it as many times as you want to. So what we're talking about is the mean absolute deviation. Okay, the MAD, M-A-D, M mean absolute, A deviation, D, M-A-D, mean absolute deviation. So let's look at this vocabulary, kind of the way the word breaks down. So mean is the average of the data set. It is the average of the data set. Is it not going to move? Absolute refers to the absolute value, which is how far a number is from 0, and it always has to be positive. It must always be positive. Well, that's not what we want to do. All right, I think I got it working now. We'll see. And the deviation has to do with the distance. So the average, the absolute value, which has to always be positive, and the distance. So MAD, we're going to find the mean of the distance of each value of a data set from the mean. So what does that mean, you may ask? It means you're finding the mean twice. You're finding the mean twice. Okay, on these down here, the examples are going to be the same numbers all the way across. We're finding the mean absolute deviation of this original data set. Even though the numbers change, it's still going to be the same data set all the way across. So step 1 is to find the mean of all the values in a set of data. Okay, in order to find the mean, you've got 2 steps. Step 1, step 2, step A, step B. Okay, mean, first thing you got to do is you got to add all the numbers. The second step is to divide by the amount of numbers in the data set. So we're going to do that to this data set down here. 15, 6, 16, 11, 8, 7, 3, and 6. So the first thing you've got to do is you've got to add all of those numbers up. When you add them all up, you get 72. And then we're going to divide by the amount of numbers that we have here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're going to divide 72 by 8 and get 9. So that's step 1. Step 2 is to find the distance of each value from the mean. To do that, we're going to subtract the mean from each value and find the absolute value of that. Okay, this little fancy looking upside down H thing looking here is actually called a mu. It's a Greek letter that means mean or average. So notice we filled in our average of 9, our mean of 9 for the mu all the way down here. We're finding the absolute value. That's what those bars mean. If you need to type that, you can hit Shift/, and it'll give you that little bar right above the enter. And then this x, okay, these values that are in this x right here are what we put in for x right there. So they're the same all the way down. 3, 3, 6, 6, 6, 6, 7, 7, so on. So remember, absolute value has to always be positive. So when we do 3 minus 9, we know 3 minus 9 is negative 6, but the answer is actually going to be a positive 6 because it has to be positive in order to be absolute value. Okay, then 6 minus 9 is going to be 3. All right, absolute value of 3. Absolute value of 7 minus 9 is going to be 2. And the absolute value of 8 minus 9 is 1. Absolute value of 11 minus 9 is 2. And then 15 and 16 are 6 and 7. Now we move on to step 3. Step 3 is where you find the mean for the second time. So you find the mean of the distances that you found in step 2 right down here. In order to do that, you're going to add all the numbers and divide by the amount of numbers in the data set. You're going to take those numbers that we have right here, and those are going to be your new data set right here. It's these same numbers. You're going to add those all up. When you add them up, you get 30. And then you're going to take 30 and divide it by how many there are, which is 8. And that's going to give you the final answer of 3.75 for the mean absolute deviation of this data set. Now, what the mean absolute deviation can do for you is it tells you how spread out the data is. Okay? A smaller mean absolute deviation means that the numbers are really close together. A larger mean absolute deviation means that they're further apart. So here we know the average number through here was 9. There's not a 9 in there, but the average of all of those was 9. And 3.75 tells us that the average number was 3.75 away from 9. So it just tells you how far apart the numbers are. Notice we have a 15 and a 3 and a 16. Those are all pretty far away from 9. So if we had a bunch of 11s and 8s and 7s and 10s, that number would be a lot smaller than 3.75. So that's kind of what you would use this for, is just to figure out the spread of the data. If there's anything I can do to help you, just let me know. To get this put into your binder, what you're going to do is you're going to pull your binder up and you're going to go to Unit 2. In Unit 2, you're going to click this Google Drive over here. When you click that, it's going to pop up and show you what's in your drive. You just find those notes. When you click it, it comes in and looks just like this one, except it doesn't say do not delete. And you can grab it right there, and you can move them wherever you want them to go. They move all over the place, and you can get it all customized to your likings. So if there's anything I can do to help you, just let me know, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow.